Hello everyone, welcome back with another video on Microsoft Azure Synapse Analytics series. This video is about exploring the Microsoft Azure Synapse Studio. Actually, in the previous video, we saw how to create Microsoft Azure Synapse Studio, and in this video, we will see what are the functionalities that Microsoft provide us in the Azure Synapse Studio. So here you can see that I am on my Synapse Analytics Workspace Studio. So to come here, what you need to do is that from the main dashboard, you just need to click the Synapse Workspace resource, and from there what you need to do is that just click on this open link to open the Synapse Studio. So it will take a while to load up the Azure Synapse Analytics Studio for you, and here I am on my Synapse Analytics Workspace Studio. So here you can see that I am here on the home page, and in the home page the first option you see here is the option to ingest the data. This is copy data tool. If you're familiar with the Azure Data Factory, so you should be aware of the fact that we use copy data tool to copy the data from multiple resources. What you can do here is that there are two options basically. First one is that you can perform a built-in copy task, and the other one is that you can use the metadata driven copy tasks as well. If you want to run your task once, you need to select this option. Otherwise, you can schedule this task, it will reoccur again and again after some time. There is a tumbling window as well. So these are the options here. So if I move on to the next one, you can see that there are sources as well. You can choose Azure Blob Storage and MongoDB, NoSQL. So there are plenty of sources here. We will see these in detail when we move on to the next videos. The connection is you can select the analytics workspace here for your connection. So your data will be stored there. There are plenty of options which you will see later on in this course. So I do not want to get into more details right now. For now, I will just cancel this out and I will discard the changes. So basically this tab here, actually ingest, is the shortcut to this integrate tab. If you click on integrate, it will perform the same action here. Copy data tool option is right here. If you click on explore and analyze, actually, so it will open a new documentation for you. Yeah, you can see that here's a documentation tutorial on explore and analyze data lakes with serverless SQL pool. Okay, in past the explore was referring to this data tab and analyze was referring to this develop tab, and now Microsoft has changed the settings, and most probably in the future it will do the same. So if I click on the visualize, so you can actually connect a Power BI workspace to create reports and data sets from data in your workspace. So here you can connect your Power BI workspace so that you can perform several operations. So any data set that is available inside your Power BI is now browsable from here, and you can edit them directly inside the Synapse Studio, and that's great. And later what you can do is that you can republish them to Power BI. You can control your Power BI workspace from here. That's an awesome feature actually. So I'll just cancel this one for now, and you can see here that you have a little shortcut here to develop SQL scripts, KQL scripts, notebook, data flow, Apache Spark job definition pipeline. We will see them in detail later on in this course. So this is just an overview video for you. All that you can see here is just the shortcut from this develop tab. When we will open the develop tab, we will see that in detail as well. Okay, if I just scroll down, and you can see here inside the recent resources, if I have accessed any resources just recently, so it will appear right here. As you can see inside this Microsoft Azure, you can see the recent resources right here. So it's just the same. So here you can see that under the community, it's basically showing me that what are the future updates that are possible in the Microsoft Synapse workspace, or what were the recent updates that just landed. So that's pretty much it for the home section right here. Okay, now if I move on to the data tab right here, so the purpose of this data tab is actually to explore different types of data sources that are available for us. You can see that here we can create a SQL database, Lake database as well. So we can connect to the external data and integration data set as well. Inside the workspace, I do not have any workspace available right now. So if I move on to the link tab, you can see that Azure Data Lake Storage Generation 2 is available here. So one is coming from my storage workspace, and this is DL file system. You remember that this one I created when I was creating this Synapse workspace. If I close this one back and if I click on like you can link to a SQL database, and not only that, if I just browse the gallery, so you can see there are several sample data sets you can integrate to your storage workspace, and you can just perform some tasks on that. So you can see that like the data set of COVID, like Chicago safety data set, and NYC taxi and limousine commission. So these are the data sets that you can explore. So I'll just close this one out. Okay, once again, the purpose of data tab is to link the different data sources that are available to you so that you can perform several analytical operations. And one more cool feature about this data tab is that you can actually interact with your data real time. Like if I have some data right here, and if I have some tables, I can directly open the tables from this data tab, and that's a really cool feature actually. Let me just expand it. So the next on the list is the develop tab. So this is meant for the development purposes. So what you can do here is that you can write several different scripts here. Like you can write the SQL script here. So you can see that an editor is open here. So I can write SQL commands right in here. So this is meant for the development and the real analytics that you need to perform inside the Synapse Studio. After writing the scripts, a cool feature it has is that you can just run this script for the different pools, right? So the built-in is the serverless pool. If you click on the manage pools, so you can add in a new pool right here. You can also choose your dedicated SQL pool as well. So if I go back to my develop tab, you can see right here. So you can name the script, you can provide the description as well, or you can just create a notebook as well that you can run against the Apache Spark pool as well. So the language you can see is that like the notebook would be written in the Python programming language. The next what you can do here is that you can create data flow here, and actually you can like perform several complex data logic operations right here. You can check your data logic here as well. And once again, what you can do is that you can browse gallery to see different notebook templates which you can use to actually perform several tasks. So if you don't want to create a notebook from scratch or the data set from scratch, actually you can import one and perform your operations on that as well. So you can see that these are the data sets and these are the SQL scripts that you can use, and these are the pipelines right here. I'll close this one out. Once again, if I summarize this develop tab, it is used for the development purposes, and both the data engineers and the data scientists can use this develop tab actually to create different types of scripts according to their need and run those scripts against different environments to solve their problems. So in the first video, we talked about that Synapse Analytics is basically the combination of different resources from Microsoft Azure. Like it has Data Factory as well. It has like your storage accounts as well, data storage as well. It's basically a combination of different services. Like it has SQL Server. You don't need to create separate services. You can use only a single service to perform several tasks. If I click on the integrate, it is basically the replica, the ditto copy of actually the Azure Data Factory. If I click on this plus icon and create a pipeline, actually this is the thing you see in the Data Factory as well. It's basically the copy of the Data Factory. So you can perform Data Factory related tasks inside here. There are several options which we will explore later on in this course as well. You can see here you have different tasks here. You can like just perform several operations on this one. I can like validate it here, I can debug it here, and I can add a trigger and I can publish it. This is actually the same as the Data Factory. Okay, to summarize this integration tab, it is basically exactly like the Data Factory. So you can perform several operations that you can perform in the Data Factory actually. You can use all the features of Data Factory inside the Synapse Studio. The next tab on the list is the Monitor tab. So this is actually pretty much same as the monitor tab of Data Factory. You can actually monitor different pipeline runs, trigger runs, integration runtimes, and you can see the link connections as well, whether they are working correctly or not. So inside the analytics pool, there are SQL pools, Spark pools, and Data Explorer pools as well. So you can see whether your activities are working perfect. You can see whether your requests are doing a great job or not. Like you can monitor Apache Spark application applications as well. So it is really much to monitor what your status of your pipeline and different tools is. Okay, if we click on the SQL pools right here, so you can see here that this is the built-in serverless pool which is online, and the other one is my dedicated one which is actually paused, so it's not being shown right here. Okay, the next one on the list is the manage tab actually. So in this tab you can actually change the settings of all the resources which we saw in the monitor tab. The monitor tab is just meant to monitor their performance and their capability, and the manage can actually alter or change them. Okay, I am inside the SQL pools right here. So if I want to create a new one, I can just create a dedicated SQL pool right from inside here. So I can change the settings here as well. So for now I'll just click on cancel, and you can actually modify this serverless pool as well. So you can control the cost, and you can change different options and parameters right here. Okay, so for now I'll just cancel it. Okay, I can also create Apache Spark pool from here. So if I click on new, you can see that you can create a Spark pool right from inside the manage tab, and that is really cool actually. Okay, you can also manage and configure the pipeline triggers here in this section. So this is actually an overview video on Microsoft Synapse Studio. So when we will be using it in the real world examples and scenarios later on in this course, so we can look into these options in more detail. That's it. So if I go back to my home page, so I hope that now you are more familiar with the Synapse Analytics workspace environment. So I hope you like this video. If you do so, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe to a YouTube channel for more amazing videos on Microsoft Azure Synapse series, and I shall catch you up in the next one. Till then, have a good day. Bye.